Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Thompson and today I would like to talk to you about Resident Evil 7, and as you're seeing on the screen, we are now playing Resident Evil 6. I thought it would be pertinent to use this game because it's basically the latest Resident Evil game I have at hand to play. We're playing the prelude here as a background. But what I wanted to say about Resident Evil 7 is this. I completely and utterly disagree with the decision of bringing it to a first-person perspective. And why is that? Well, I am a long-time fan of the Resident Evil franchise. My first Resident Evil game was Resident Evil 3 in 1999. I then went back and played Resident Evil 1 on the PS1, and I even played at a friend's house at the time the GameCube remastered, or the GameCube remake, I should say. And what is happening at Capcom headquarters? What are they doing? Just like snorting lines of coke and thinking how they can make a game look more like a Michael Bay movie at each time. And now they're basically saying that with Resident Evil 7 they're gonna bring the horror back, the survival horror back. Now I have some things to say about that. I read a little article on the internet. I'll post it down below if I can find it. Where I think it was a creative director that said that they're doing this. They're making the game in a first-person perspective to bring back the eeriness and the mood, the horror mood. They're taking the game again into a horror direction. Now, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with them making a game in a first-person shooter, horror game, that tries to be scary. I'm fine. I loved Outlast. I loved Amnesia. There's no problem with that. The only problem is associating the Resident Evil name to that. Like, Resident Evil is a third-person survival horror game. That's how it always has been, even after Resident Evil 4, where they took a more action-oriented approach. They always stuck to the third-person perspective. And even with the fuck-ups now, Resident Evil 6 is a total mess. Resident Evil 5 was even a bigger mess. In my opinion, there was a lot of people that liked those games. I didn't, because the memories I have when I was a kid and not being able to sleep because of the Resident Evil 3 game and the Resident Evil 1 game, those memories still haunt me today. And the emotion of fear is something really hard to capture, and I think Resident Evil at the time captured that emotion so beautifully, so consistently until Resident Evil 4. That and don't take this the wrong way when I'm talking about Resident Evil 4. I'm also not saying it was a bad game. I actually enjoyed it. My problems was at that point I started to see a deviation from the norm that was Resident Evil. The defining characteristics of the Resident Evil franchise were gone, and they just butchered the franchise from then on out. The other reason I think they're gonna make Resident Evil 7 a first-person shooter game is because I believe the guys at Capcom just realized that Outlast and Amnesia made a shit ton of money, and they're trying to cash on that. Now that Outlast 2 is coming in 2017 and the demo is out, is making a lot of success. They're thinking, oh, I can do that, and I can associate the Resident Evil name to that. It's a household name, everybody knows about it because of the movies and the manga and all of that. They're gonna buy our game at $50, and the game may not even be that good at the end of the day. And I'm not saying it's not gonna be good. I'm not saying the game is gonna suck. I'm just saying, if you are a Resident Evil fan, a long time Resident Evil fan, probably you agree with me, but I don't know, it's just my 2 cents. I believe that Resident Evil 7 shouldn't be a first-person shooter. First-person shooter does not go well with Resident Evil. Those are two opposites, okay? Resident Evil should be a slow-paced survival horror game, just like in the early days, like when they remastered the remake, the GameCube version, and launched it on PC and on PS4, I think. I don't know if Xbox got a release of that. Anyways, that re-release made so much money. They made so much money with so little effort. And then they did it again with Resident Evil 0. They made a lot of money again. So what's holding them back from making it just a brand new game with that kind of gameplay? Everybody loved it. It has awesome reviews on Steam. So what's the deal at Capcom? And besides, like Resident Evil 7 being a first-person shooter is just really an insult to the fans, to the long-running fans that we have been saying we want the return to the roots for years now, ever since Resident Evil 5, and I don't even remember when that came out. I'm gonna guess, just a wild guess, like 2008, 2009 maybe. I'm not even sure about it. So those are my 2 cents on it, my opinion. I would love to hear your opinion on the subject, if you could be so kind to comment down below. And if you liked the video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. There will be a lot more content like this coming out in the next few weeks. Dr. Thompson TV signing out, and don't forget something very important: buy the ticket, take the ride. See you guys. At some point it's really unmanageable, and obviously I haven't taken the time to complete it because, you know, you get sick of it after a little while, but it's just a fun little game.